And we're back.
And we're
That's
back.
right. Okay. Recording in progress.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, here we are. I guess summer's over, huh?
Yeah, we had summer.
You had Indian summer this past weekend, didn't you?
It was 4 days of upper 70s for a high. Ain't bad for Wisconsin.
We had the same weather down here. We had the same temperatures. Just our overnight stayed at about 70. So
our overnight would dip down into the 50s, 40s.
It's not too bad. You guys had some nice weather for the open house this past weekend.
Yep. Yeah, it was a chili cook-off. And
cook-off.
Yeah. And then it was so I brought a fire pit down.
Yeah, the one you made. That was pretty cool one.
Yeah, we got it next door, empty lot. It's a 500-gallon old propane tank. Expanded metal, all sealed up. Blah, blah, blah.
Cutouts of Wisconsin on it. It's really cool.
There's no cutouts of Wisconsin on it.
It fucking looks like Wisconsin, dude.
It's just hold. But
just
it's But anyway, so we put about 6 cords of wood in there. A bundle of like 5 pieces for all the people who want to know what that means. And we got that fucker going. It was roaring like a motherfucker. And about 20 minutes later, here comes a fire truck, pulls up out front, no lights or sirens, which kind of bummed me out. I'm like, if you're going to come here and fuck with us, you might as well give us a show.
Yeah, make some noise, man. Come on. Shit.
That lieutenant's looking it up and down. He's looking, he's like, it's a big fire, but it's legal. It's got a top. It's enclosed. You're burning clean wood. Nothing we can do. It's just, they recommended we get a fire extinguisher. I'm like, we got one. It's somewhere. It's fine, dude.
Yeah.
So we got to continue on, but yeah. The guy was like, that's a big fire. It's a big fire. He kept saying
our guys is a fireman. He's inside.
Yeah, he said it was fine. But he was actually wrong, by the way. He thought the city ordinance was 50 feet from a structure. It's not. It's 30 feet.
Aha.
So I'm like, take measure out. It looks more like 30. It looks close to me. But they trusted me. So yeah, it was fun. It's not a party until the fucking fire department shows up.
That's right, man. That's right. Well, that's cool.
Yep. But yeah, other than that, it was, just another chili cook-off. People ate chili and had a few drinks, a few laughs, and that was that.
A few giggles, a few clubs showed up, I'm sure. And
oh, yeah.
Friends and all that. Yeah, sorry I missed it.
It's all right. But
I've decided, just real quick, I've decided next year.
Yeah.
I wanted to be back in time. This year was my 30th wedding anniversary, so I kind of wanted to be down here in Florida. Next year, I'm waiting until after your birthday, man.
Okay, why?
So we could throw you a party.
Yeah, I don't want a party.
Yeah, we're gonna throw you one anyway. You got no choice in it.
Every day is a party for me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
No, but this episode, I want to talk about chili recipes.
Chili recipes. Okay.
Well, it comes to my attention that everybody's got their own way of making it, and it tastes all relatively the same. Every chili's got that same chili flavor, for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
And I hate to say it, but a lot of it's cookie cutter bullshit. It's like, oh, my secret is nutmeg. It's like, yeah, you do everything else everybody else does, but you put nutmeg in yours, and now you're Gordon Ramsay. No.
Only if you use a microplane.
Right.
You get the actual nutmeg and microplane it into it,
Oh my God. I also got to make mention real quick, since we're on topic of food. I went to a supper club on Friday night.
Wisconsin supper clubs. Gotta love them, man.
Yep. Now I got the walleye because it's Friday and I don't know, walleye. Fuck it. Others got the steak. They didn't pan sear their steak or grill it.
Oh no. They broiled it.
They basically, yeah.
Yeah.
They fried it or something where the pan wasn't that hot.
Yeah.
And they basically half-ass slow cooked a medium well steak.
Oh,
I wanted to go punch somebody in the fucking kitchen. Like, I am not a chef. I did not go to culinary school. You did, not me. But if you do not at least put some sort of a crust on that steak, then I don't know what you're doing with your life. I don't get it.
yeah. It's called the Maillard reaction. You need the Maillard reaction, which is what caramelizes the outer meat and gives it all its flavor, man.
Yeah, it tastes. That's exactly. Yeah, it's the Gallardo effect. Whatever. Yeah, what you said.
Maillard.
Maillardi. My Prince. It's the Lombardi effect. But yeah, I don't get it. Like, you're a supper club. Has nobody ever said anything to you like, hey, maybe put a little crust on that?
Where'd you go? Butterfly Club?
No. The fuck was it?
Down in Beloit, 640?
No. It was in Jefferson.
Oh, okay.
I forget what the fuck name of it was. And I don't want to say it. And fucking walleye was delicious. That was some of the best walleye I ever had. But
Maybe we should explain to people what a Wisconsin supper club is, though.
well,
They're a little different because I mean, you get there, right? And I mean, you get so much food before you ever even get the food you ordered. You know,
that's true.
They have like the relish tray. You know, it's got all the different relish stuff and little pickles and carrots and celery. Then you get the bread basket, and it's got sweet rolls in it. Like you get sweet rolls before dinner.
Oh, this place had giant loaves of rye bread, like homemade fucking rye bread.
Nice.
And it was so soft. It was so good. I mean, it was maybe 2 hours old bread. It was fresh. Yeah. I mean, it. Not only that, but most supper clubs, they only have like a handful of things.
Yeah.
And then the menu usually changes,
Yeah.
Kind of depends on what they have. Like this place had mostly steak, and then it was Friday, so they had all their fish, their bluegill, their walleye, their cod, their perch. Unfortunately, they ran out of scallops by the time we got there.
There's nothing.
They ran out of
scallops are the best.
Yeah, they are. I saw scallops. I was like, oh well, shit.
Oh yeah,
I gotta have those. And they're like, oh, we're out. And I'm like, you motherfuckers. Like, don't play with my emotions. And they were out of the jumbo style shrimp. I mean, yeah.
Wow, that's sacrilegious.
It is. But we're not here to talk about supper clubs.
We're here to talk about chili.
So I made a chili that I'd never made before, and it turned out really well. And it was also different and interesting. I've noticed now whenever I start playing around with stuff, people go, this is pretty good, but it's interesting. Like they don't know what to make of it. Because it doesn't taste like everybody else's. Like when I make steak tacos, everybody goes, it's such an interesting flavor. It's good. I've never had something like this. And it's something that I don't know, I try to strive for because I don't like eating the same shit over and over again. Maybe as a kid I used to, but not anymore. And for my steak, I made something called steak Colorado, or not for my steak. For my chili, I made something called, I got steak on the brain. I made something called chili Colorado, which uses more dried peppers and beef broth, and you gotta use what I used, a shoulder ribeye or a shoulder roast. And yeah, I mean, it was legit. I had to use so those dry peppers that you see like in the store in like the Mexican section,
anchovies and
Hispanic authentic food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use anchos and what was it? Guajillos?
Guajillos, those are my
Guajillos, that's it, guajillos.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it, but I know how to make shit with it. And then, the pastelos and the New Mexican peppers, and they're dried. So what I did is I cut all the seeds out of them, because you don't want to kill people.
No.
And the thing of it is once you cut the stems, open them up, take the seeds out, blah, 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 put them in a couple cups of boiling beef broth for about 25 minutes and just let them sit. And it'll rehydrate them. And they could become pliable, and they're kind of gooey-ish. I guess. And then I basically pan-seared a diced up tomato, a peeled diced up tomato. And I seared it to try to get some of the acid out of it, try to get some of the acidic taste out of it. So it didn't have that tomato-based flavor.
Yeah, yeah.
More of a ketchupy flavor, if you will.
Sure.
You know, because I think that's a lot of like why people don't like certain tomato things, but they like ketchup because it doesn't taste like a tomato. It tastes like ketchup, you know? And that's kind of what I was going for. I put that in that blender. I blended it all up, and there was my sauce. You know, that was my chili ingredient. And then on top of that, you had some cumin, which you could say cumin if you want to be nasty about it. Had some paprika, had some oregano, Mexican oregano. There is a difference between Mexican and Italian. And I sauteed up some onions and some, what was the other thing in there? I think I was, yeah, onions, garlic. Yeah, that all went into the blender, sat while I did my meat, which is basically just 1-inch cubes of beef shoulder. Seared up the ends, put some flour, some salt, pepper, nothing major. Throw everything in a pot, a few more cups of beef broth, and let that sucker simmer for about 2 fucking hours. And I'll tell you right now, that meat was so fucking tender, you could cut it with a spoon.
Yeah, and it gives all of its collagen up into the sauce, which sort of thickens it up.
Yep, super thick.
Yep. Makes a nice gravy.
And I also made some Mexican rice. You know, I just got some, you know, the guao Mexican rice. I think it's like tomato and whatever, because I got like 20 different kinds. It was like the tomato Mexican rice, you know, where it's got little pieces of tomato and shit. And then, yeah, told everybody, you know, there was an instruction on how to eat my chili. I'm like, listen, you can get a plate of it. That's fine. But here's what you want to do. You want to get a tortilla. And I got little street tortillas, you know.
Yeah, the little ones, right?
Yeah, the little ones. And they're flour, not corn.
Yep, yep.
I know some people are kind of weird about the corn ones. So I got the flour ones. These flour ones are kind of like the standard, but they're already like pre-grilled. So they're good. Layer of rice, a couple chunks of meat, some of the sauce, put it in your mouth and eat it. And everybody that had it was like, oh my God, it's so good. He goes, it wasn't hot. It's like Taco Bell mild sauce hot, because those peppers aren't very hot once you take the seeds out of them.
Well, plus you the way you cooked them, you kind of took some of the acid bite off them too.
Right. And but yeah, the flavor was just ridiculous. Like it was just so good. Like it tasted like chili, but not really. It was like, I don't know, almost like a chili raisin. You know how raisins kind of have that sweet, it didn't taste like raisins, but you know how chili or raisins are like any sort of like certain fruit that's dried has like a certain sweetness to it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Nice.
Well, with spice. Caught you on the back end. After you swallowed, you'd be like, oh, there's something right there.
Best way to have a pepper. Usually if it hits you right in the back of the throat after a little bit, you don't want it up in your face. You want to taste things first.
Right.
I think a lot of people do that. They think that it's going to, like, let's have a chili cook-off. They're like, oh, I'm going to make it so hot. What the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah.
You know, you're going to blow your face out on chili and then blow your fucking rectum out the next day? Rectum.
Or the same day, depending upon how hot chili is.
I don't like it super hot. I don't like it mild.
Well, it's got to have some bite to it.
A little bit, sure.
Like I made a chili that was kind of super spicy last year. And it wasn't super spicy, but it had, well, like I used 1 can of diced tomatoes and then 2 cans of Rotella.
Yep.
And then I used the chopped up chipotle peppers and the adobo sauce that was with them. Little can, you know, little whatever.
It goes a long way with that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And if you cook it, my God, you'll choke yourself off in the kitchen with that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was basically just ground meat, chili powder, an onion, some peppers, like 1 de-seeded jalapeno. And I mean, shit, it tasted amazing, but yeah, it was, ooh.
I mean,
I felt it when you ate it.
I've been working on my chili recipe. I worked on it for probably about 40 years now.
Yeah.
And actually, my chili recipe, you can find it on one of our back episodes. I put it in the credits at the end of the video, and it's listed out. And I know some of our listeners and viewers have actually, the listeners, but it would be the viewers, not the listeners. The viewers have tried it and actually messaged me back and let them know that they thought it was really good. To me, it's about the blend of the meats. I like to put some pork in there. Usually I get some hot pork sausage meat, and I'll put the pork in there too. I've made it with ground chicken and added that in with the beef.
No, hold on, because this brings me to an interesting topic. You're a certified chef.
Yep.
Correct.
Yes.
Culinary graduate. Now, traditionally, I was told that chili was made with turkey sausage. Is that true?
The history of chili. I actually got a book on this.
Oh.
The origin of chili came out of the old Texas prison system. Years ago, before when they weren't even a state. And what it was a method that they used to make bad meat good, because they would put enough peppers in it that would kill all the enzymes that had so rancid meat was made good by the use of the chili peppers. And so no, it wasn't ground turkey. It was usually rancid meat. It could be pork, it could be beef. A lot of times it was beef, Texas being a big cattle state. Here's where I think a lot of people, where they kind of get a little weird, is people put beans in their chili. And either make chili without beans or you're wrong.
Right.
Right. I mean, beans they're a nice added filler. Some people like it, they do it to extend it out. But there's like, chili's a regional thing too. You were just talking, you made a Colorado chili.
Right.
There's a California chili, which a lot of times is a lot lighter. It's a lot more vegetables and stuff that they have in there. And sometimes you'll find a white chili. Probably the one that's most controversial would be Cincinnati chili.
Yes.
Now, Cincinnati chili is, put it on spaghetti. It's a meat sauce, but then they'll also add, beans right into it. They'll put cheese on top of it, on top of the spaghetti. They'll put onions, chopped green onions, chopped chilies. But me, I'm a Texas chili guy. You got to go with the original. I've got, those little coffee grinders you get, you grind your beans up for coffee.
Yeah.
I have one specifically for chili.
Really?
Yeah, because what I do is I'll take those peppers, those dried peppers, and I'll chop them up while they're still hard, de-seed them first, and then just chop them up, and I'll throw them into a pan.
Yeah.
No oil or anything, and I'll just toast them in the pan, keep them moving so they don't burn.
Yeah.
They start to get sort of bloom their fragrance off of them. Then I run them through the grinder and get them all nice and ground up. And then from there, a lot of times I will actually toast the chili powder, the cumin, the salt, the pepper, and the guajillos and stuff like that. And I'll toast them in a pan again to try to take some of that bite out.
Yeah.
But that's just, that's my method. That's just the way that I've done it over the years. We've got a former club brother of ours, Grump. I gave his old lady, Dana, the recipe for my chili. And God, I think he has her make it like every other week.
Yeah. And well, you know what? Maybe what we should do is put the recipe in the description below.
Sure.
For this episode.
You be able to write yours up?
Yeah. Huh?
You write yours up?
I could, yeah.
Yeah, we'll throw them in there.
Hell, I'll put a link to the video that I stole it from.
There you go.
Yeah.
Why not, man? I figured you were on YouTube. I know you.
That's how I learned how to do all my shit.
Why not? It's what we all do, right? I mean, YouTube how-to channel,
You might be listening to us on YouTube right now.
You probably, yeah. I mean, we teach you how to be douchebags, how to be assholes in the biker community. So, yeah.
And I'm sure there might be people out there. Well, I wanted to hear about biker stuff. Man, you know how many fucking bikers eat goddamn chili, dude?
You know how many chili cook-offs there are?
there's two this weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
what, dude, let's be honest. If you're in the club scene, maybe not the biker scene because you're not. I ride wherever I want. Nobody tells me what to do. Okay, great, good for you.
Whatever. Okay.
But
sure.
if you're in the fucking club scene, you have had your fair share of chili, barbecue, aka sloppy joes,
Sloppy Joes. Yep.
hot dogs, hamburgers,
Bratwurst.
brats.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we're not out here cooking fucking filet mignon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're not doing that.
Well, we will next year. We got a decent kitchen now.
Yeah, we
had Oysters Rockefeller, man. Come on,
Yeah, we did. Well, shit, for your birthday, I made steak tacos. I made tacos with chorizo and shit.
Yeah, you made me one of the best steaks I've had in a long time, man.
I made you your own personal steak.
That's right. Personal steak. It was my personal Jesus steak, man. We had
I made
all seasoning on there and shit.
Yep. Made garlic noodles.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I made chicken. Like I made a bunch of different shit. I'm like, I don't know what everybody likes, but here's some barbecue chicken. Here's some fucking buttered noodles with garlic in it, which is basically just garlic and butter. I mean, it's an easy recipe.
Keep it stupid simple, man.
And parsley. Gotta have that green. Gotta
have it.
Green onions are like one of my favorate things. I can eat them.
Me too.
Green onion. I love green onions.
Oh, I just eat them right up the stalk.
Yep. What else? I mean, we try, to kind of mix it up. And that's why people, when they show up and they have food, and they're like, oh, wow, this is really fucking good. I'm like, well, yeah, because we get tired of barbecue too, man. We get tired of making the same damn thing and eat the same shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and we use a little thing that we like to call spices in our
country. A lot of the certain demographic of bikers, they don't know about spices. They think salt and pepper is all the spice you need.
Like, it's very bland in the Midwest, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I got my start cooking, man. My mom, being Scandinavian and Midwest cook, my dad had a stomach that couldn't take a lot of spices.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, there must be some flavor that we can manage to make with this. So maybe I should learn to cook so I can add flavor to the food, because I grew up with very bland food. I'm not complaining, mom made some great shit, but a lot of it was very bland. So I learned to cook because of her.
Well, I mean, I got kind of a touchy gut. There's certain things that fuck with me, but there's a pill for that. So I'll just, I will sacrifice my intestinal tract for a decent flavor in my mouth from time to time.
As long as I've known you, yeah.
I will sacrifice my butthole for the greater good of my mouth. But anyways, you take that however you want. But
yeah,
anyway,
people.
But yeah,
whatever, fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, you mess around with it, man. I mean, we all got to eat. You might as well eat good while you're here.
Might as well, yeah.
I made somebody burgers last night, and they freaked out. They're like, they're so freaking good. They're like, oh, this might be the best burger I ever had. Like, what did you do to it? Steak sauce. And then I grilled it. I put steak sauce in the meat and mixed it up. And then I grilled it. And now you're eating it. I don't know. They're like, I've never had it like this. I'm like,
it's because they're used to a burger with no seasonings in it.
Yeah, it's salt and pepper and steak sauce.
All you have to do is just add a little. It's one of Gordon Ramsay's biggest complaints about American cuisine, is that our burgers have no flavor. And he's right.
It's true. Like, I've ruined other people's burgers for me. I can't go out to eat half the time because their food sucks to me, because I'm like, I can make it way better than this.
Well, I've said it before. You say you're not a chef, but you've got talent because you learn technique.
Well, I know.
And the recipe, any fool can follow a recipe. It's can you execute the recipe well with technique? And that's basically what we learn in culinary school. It's like, I was told that, I'm like, well, here's the recipe in the book. It's like, fuck the recipe, man. We're learning the technique of how to do this correctly.
Yeah.
And so, often the only time you'll ever see me measure something is if I'm baking, because baking is an exact science. But
yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
the rest of the time it's just play, man. You know, I mean, you want me to recreate a recipe? Yeah, I'll be able to do it. I don't know how many times, you know, how'd you make that? Oh, here's what I did. And then they make it. It doesn't taste anything like yours. And I'm like, well, you know,
Well, yeah,
how's
people
your
are like,
day?
how much cumin did you use? I'm like, I don't know, this much. I don't fucking know. It looked about right.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. I didn't use a measuring cup for the first time when I put the beef broth in the fucking chili, right? To soak the peppers, I mean. Second time, I was told maybe I should use the cup. I'm like, all right, I'll use a cup. And I used the rest of the container, which had 4 cups of beef broth in it. Do you know how much was exactly left? 4 cups or 2 cups. Yeah. So I literally measured, I eyeballed it almost exactly. It's like, just looked right. I don't know. Is it a gift? Maybe. Am I blessed? I don't know. Could be.
I don't know.
Did I get lucky? Probably.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know, man. You've got a
Maybe
good
all the years of fucking with motorcycles and they called for 24 ounces of fucking fluid and
yeah, no
I
shit.
can now eyeball an ounce, you know.
Yeah.
I know how it feels in ways. That's for a different reason, but yeah, you know.
Yeah. How much primary fluid? Well, it ain't a full quart. It's about 28 ounces, actually.
Yes. Unless you got a leak, then you just put the whole thing in there.
Yeah. It's gonna come out anyway, right?
It'll come. It's self-changing. It's fine.
That's true. Yeah, kind of like, yeah. Well, Evo owners know all about that. You know, we don't change the oil; we just kind of replace it. You know.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Every 3,000-4,000 miles, you change out your oil filter.
Swap out the oil filter, call it good. Fuck it.
Yeah, turn the bike on, let it run with no oil in it, so you can get the rest out of the sump. You know.
Yeah, and then we'll wrap this up with talking about how great Harleys are, because that's the thing about Harleys. And I almost got into a conversation with a guy this weekend, but I don't know, whatever. But Harleys are not the best motorcycle in any category. Like, are they the most comfortable? No, that's probably a goddamn Goldwing or some stupid ass jet bike that has, air ride suspension and all this other shit and whatever. A seat that has,
Oh yeah.
8 inches of cushion. I'm sure it's comfortable. Is it the fastest? No, not even close. Especially when you want to start talking about your leader super bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Do they stop the best? No, there's Japanese cruisers out there that got 6-piston fucking Brembos on each side of the front wheel, and they got one on the back wheel, and they're lighter and yada yada yada.
Does it sound the best though? Probably.
Harleys sound the best.
They sound the best.
But that's also subjective. I mean, what sounds good to me might not sound good for the next guy. Maybe some guy likes the sweet buzz of a fucking straight 4. Some guy likes his bike Jetson quiet, where it sounds like the Jetsons. Oh, I don't like all that noise. But
those Suzuki and Kawasaki owners like sewing machines, because
it is what it is. It's personal preference. But the one thing Harley has over all the rest of them is that thing can sound like it's going to fall apart. It can piss oil out of every fucking seal. It can fucking look like haggard dog shit because it's got fucking a million miles of fucking rust and grime and shit all over it. And that cocksucker will fire up, run, and take you across the country every time.
Yeah.
You don't see too many Harleys break down. They just keep going.
Years ago, first year in the club, we're Fallen Brother ride, right? I got the old lady on the back of the Softail, and I didn't realize that I had sumped a good portion of my oil out the breathers.
Oh.
I had a little, that's something that'll happen sometimes, you let them sit for a while and you start them up at the beginning of the season. I ride a couple of bikes I'd gotten on that one. And so I literally have like 2 quarts of oil in this bike. And we're about halfway into this ride. We're out near fucking on the other side of Fort Atkinson. And then I'm looking down. I'm like, oh, fuck, man, my oil light's coming on. What the hell's going on? It's like 85 degrees out, and I'm literally rode that bike the rest of the day with the oil light coming on. I mean, granted, it's an Evo. Once again, it's not about pressure on an Evo. It's about oil delivery.
Right.
So, but Harleys, they're easy to fix. Not easy, but they're easier to fix than a fucking Goldwing.
They're simple.
Yeah.
They're simple to work on.
And a lot of the parts you can find at auto parts stores, it's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. You can actually go to a hardware store and get a bolt to throw into your whatever, your lifter block per se. We had a brother who lost a lifter block on his Evo last year.
In Kentucky.
Go to the hardware store, get me, 2 1/4-inch bolts this long.
Yep.
Fixed.
Bada bang, done.
Bada bang, done. Rode it like that right until he crashed it this year.
Oh, we had yeah, right. Yeah, in May. We had a club brother years ago. Another brother had changed his transmission fluid for him, forgot to put transmission fluid back in it.
Whoops-a-daisies.
Whoops-a-daisies. They're up in Green Bay, up in Appleton, Green Bay area. And they couldn't find somebody with the proper fluid. It was like on a Sunday or some shit. He rode that thing home.
Shit, he should have gone to just go get a fucking thing of fucking ATF.
You know who we're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah. And
fluid is, are you supposed to do that? No, but will it help and work? Yeah. It's better than nothing. So I've had people be on the side of the road and their oil light will flicker. Well, they're 1.5 quart, 2 quarts long fucking oil. It's like, all right, well, go get oil. Well, where am I going to get a gas station? Get the thickest shit they fucking have.
Yeah.
Because thing they have is 1040. Put it in. Well, it's at the right oil. I'm like, better.
It is right now.
Yeah. It's like if you're dying of thirst, you don't ask what flavor the water bottle is. Is that Evian? I don't drink Aquafina. You can go to hell.
Yeah, fuck. When it's all said and done, oil is oil. If you need it, you need some lubricant. What are you going to do? Because it's not the right oil, you're just going to run without it?
You need something.
Yeah. Victories are like that. A lot of guys, they talk about, that's a huge thing of contention with victories. No, you got to get the victory oil. Well, the victory oil is like a 2040 weight that's victory oil for their bikes. Not a 2050. A 2040. Try to find that, or then they tell you to get the Rotella, the T5.
Yeah, 1540.
Yeah, which 1540, which is a synthetic oil.
Yeah.
And then run that. I have been running Castrol 2050 V-twin oil in my Victory since I've owned it.
Yeah.
You go on one of the Victory pages and you say that, and the guy's, oh, your clutch is going to sell this, that, and the other thing. It's like, motherfucker, I've got 70,000 miles on that bike and the clutch hasn't slipped. So I don't care what they say it's going to do. It hasn't done it. So
yeah. What do the experts say? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Let's put it this way. Polaris doesn't have an oil company. They got to get it from somewhere. Chances are that company actually makes it for other people. And just because it says 2040 doesn't mean it's a true 2040. It could be an actual 2050. We just don't know.
There's probably 4 companies that make all the oil in the world.
Pretty much.
Just like a lot, most of the tires you get are made in China.
Oh yeah.
They just throw a different label on it. It's the same company for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about that earlier, right? With before we came on and did this, a couple of our new club brothers there that don't have a lot of miles under their belt. And,
yeah.
A lot of the stuff that they're experiencing, it's like, another couple 100,000 miles, you're not going to worry about this shit.
No. It's rookie shit, I was on the highway and a gust of wind blew me all the way across the lane. I'm like, well, that's because you weren't opposite leaning that hard.
Yeah.
You'll find that rhythm when you ride in the wind long enough where you're like, all right, I got to be, there we go. I got to lean this way.
Yeah.
I've been almost at a 45 trying to go straight down the road before.
Oh yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. You dropped me off in Kentucky, and went on your way. I woke up like I said, that night I got on the bike and I heard the belt screaming. So I knew it wasn't adjusted right. And I checked the tension on the belt and it was way too tight, knowing that once it heats up, it's going to tighten up even more. So, I pulled the tools out of the saddlebag, adjusted it right there in the parking lot before I left. You've taught me that, you fix it and send it, man. That's what you do.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. Fix it, send it.
get a tow truck, you know. Yeah, no, you ride that shit.
It's like me and a club brother going to Nashville once, and he picked up a nail. Bike turned to jelly going down the interstate, limped it to a gas station about a mile away. Broke out the rope plug kit, put a rope plug in it, filled the bag over there, and I said, "Well, you ready?" He's like, "Think I'll be safe?" I'm like, "Oh, I got more rope plugs for this one. Gives it
yeah.
out."
Yeah.
I mean, you already know what's going to happen when it goes flat. It goes whoa, and then you slow down and stop. So either that's going to happen again, or it won't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What are you going to do, man? I mean, imagine the pioneers. Like my grandfather was one of the pioneers of aviation. He was one of the original members of the Experimental Aircraft Association. I mean, the guy, his mentor was a guy named Fish Haskell. Fish Haskell's pilot license number was number 9. He was like the 9th pilot license in the country given out. And no, imagine these guys, they're out there fixing their motors and then they fly them in the air. You talk about fix it and send it, I mean, at least on the ground, I mean, gravity works, but we've got less to fall off a bike, man.
I mean, you think about, those experimental pilots in the 50s, we made this jet and we need you to test it out. Oh, what insurances will you give us? Shouldn't break.
Yeah.
Shouldn't come apart. Oh, go figure it out.
Well, fuck, they were sticking people out of the atmosphere up into the stratosphere in airplanes before they realized they shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, well, it got really hot when I was up there. Yeah, it's because your fuselage was melting. I mean, so yeah.
Well, it's like they say, how can we fly to the moon in the 60s, but now we can't do it? Well, because now we're kind of pussies about shit. We are. Everything's got to be dead. Oh, if there's any risk, I don't know if we could do it. We don't want to get sued by a family because, we killed somebody. In the 60s, they were like, we're just going to go do this. And yeah, we don't need a big giant computer to fucking tell us how to do it. We're going to figure it out on our own, aim it,
Yeah.
Where are you going? The moon. How are you going to get there? Point the rocket in that direction.
Yeah.
Send it.
Get some smart people, do some math, help us out, I mean.
Yeah. Somebody writes some shit down on a bar napkin. We'll figure it out as we go.
I mean, what do they say? The first person through the wall is, it's always the messy one,
Yeah.
Everybody's willing to jump through that hole once it's been made. And, it's to be a pioneer in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, think about those people, getting on motorcycles for the very first time.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, that's a good point. If you look at back in the day, guys would do cross-country trips on bikes that were basically 1-cylinder, 2-horsepower bicycles
with a leather belt.
Yeah. No suspension.
Yeah.
Here's a couple cans of oil to throw in a backpack and a spark plug. Good luck.
That or the oiling mechanism was a little squirt bottle that was like strategically placed on the frame that they could squirt it down onto the moving parts.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the original carburetor was like a bottle,
Yeah.
We
These
just
guys, and they didn't have paved roads. They're on fucking horse trails and fucking wagon trails, and now you got guys bitching that there's too many bumps on the interstate, and they're
or there's grass
classic.
clippings
Wasn't as comfortable as they wanted it to be, huh?
Or there's the dreaded grass clippings.
Oh my god, the grass clippings are killing people.
That one cracks me up. We'll be in groups and stuff. I'll see the clippings. I'll intentionally ride through them just to prove a point.
Yeah, and you'll see those people hit their brakes and like almost cause an accident because they're
they hit the brakes.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing, dude?
Oh man,
there's grass clippings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here, but the point's gonna get somewhere. All right, and I've tried to teach not the mindset, ski over it. I used to ski. I worked up at Stratton Mountain as a chef. Had a free ski pass. I could ski all the time. And I remember going down that goddamn mountain when I first got there. I couldn't ski very well when I first got there. And there was this one section. It was this long icy section. And I'd get there with the ice and I'd fucking struggle and I'd try to turn and do the back and forth stem Christie bullshit and all that on the ice and fall on my ass. And finally it dawned on me and it was like, motherfucker, just ski over it. Like once you get on it, just go straight. Don't make any sudden moves. Just hold into a tuck and send it.
Yeah.
And I think about that with a lot of things now, with motorcycles especially. Fucking, I'll think about that. Ski over it, man. You got fucking gravel coming? Well, don't make any sudden moves. You know, you're going into a patch of oil. Gosh, maybe you shouldn't hit the brakes, you know, or maybe you should pull the clutch in when you hit the gravel in the fucking turn. Stop translating power to your rear wheel. Just some basic stuff, man. Ski over.
Just hold on and don't crash.
Yeah.
You don't got to do a goddamn thing.
But that, that's the whole muscle memory thing. And that's that, couple 100,000 miles under your belt thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
That separates the people that keep the bike pristine and in the garage and, take it out when the weather's fair and, when it's the weekend and it's not raining.
Yeah.
And there's, retards like you and me who have overcome that a long time ago and really just love to ride, and we don't care what the conditions are.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I've had my close calls, and I've had all my, moments where I almost crashed, and then there's moments I did crash, and you build up a certain memory of what things feel like. I know what a bike feels like right before it's about to try to kill me.
Yeah.
A little wiggle here and there isn't, that's like, you'll be fine. But, it takes practice, it takes time, it takes experience, and it's a learning curve, just like everything else.
Pretty steep one for some people.
Yeah, that's true.
Just, like I said, just ski over it, man. Just like, keep it simple.
Yeah. Just don't panic.
Don't panic, right? Don't panic. That's a big one.
Yep. Don't freak out. Don't try to think you're fucking something that you're not either. If you know you're not comfortable, don't go to the Dragon Tail and try to drag a knee if you're new to riding motorcycles or if you've never done that before.
Dear God.
You gotta work up to it, man.
Well, even the experienced riders, the first time through any sort of a course, they're not going full out.
Oh no.
Learn the course. You're going to see how the turn's set up.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. Real important how you set up into a turn.
Yeah, well, because not all corners are made the same.
That's right.
I know of a couple corners where it's actually two corners in one.
Yeah. It
starts out at one grade and then it takes another sharp turn. It's like, yeah, you're double adjusting what you're doing.
Oh yeah, you'll get like you almost slingshotted into the traffic coming in the other direction because they haven't banked it right.
That's true.
County H north of 14 is a big one.
Yeah.
That turn right there through the residential area, that little S turn, and for years it was nasty. Like it was all chewed up, and so they went in to fix it, right, and it just wanted to shoot you into the oncoming traffic. Especially if you were riding zipper, and then they went and fixed it and they repaved it, but they never fixed the turn. They never fixed the bank of the turn, and so now it's nice road where you're going faster and it still wants to slingshot you into oncoming traffic.
Yeah,
it's all in the recovery, man.
Yep,
all in the recovery. Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, I suppose that's enough for this episode.
Yeah. So you got the bike fixed.
Yeah, bike. Yeah, I was a pain in the ass. Stupid shit. But it's working now.
Yeah, when you ride them enough, it's going to happen. They wear out.
Well, yeah, that, and that the clutch arm release on the right side where the clutch cable goes to.
Yeah.
The balls were pretty much wearing themselves another divot in the. Yeah. So I had, that wasn't causing my major problem. My major problem was the way the flywheel decided to come apart that I got from Screaming Eagle. So that was fun. That ate up a fucking derby cover and a primary cover, but whatever, I'm
Torque's
sure
the real
Screaming Eagle
thing.
has an excuse for that. Huh?
Torque's the real thing, man.
Yep. I'm using
Yeah.
a part designed to do something that it was designed to do, and then it didn't want to do it anymore, but whatever.
With those bearings flattening out, did it slightly bend that shaft? Was it putting pressure on that shaft, like torque?
No, shaft was pretty much okay. I mean, I replaced it anyways because I didn't know, and it's like they're $15. Fuck it, you know.
Oh, I know. I mean,
It was so where the balls sit,
yeah,
those little indentations. They basically were making their own grooves, so it was kind of gritty. Like instead of when you pull it in, instead of it just being a smooth pull, it'd be like a herky jerky motion.
yeah,
Because there was other little grooves in there. Just over time, where it would catch a point where it would just, you know what I mean? It'd be a little tight, just by the design, and it just over time wore it out.
yeah,
I mean, the bike's got 50,000 miles on it.
yeah, yeah.
It's going to start showing its age.
Well, and for half of its life, it's had you riding it.
Yeah.
You're not easy on your bikes.
No, and that's but I learned how to fix it. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Go from there.
Yeah, you don't have to pay that fucking $90 an hour for
90. That's cheap.
Yeah.
Most places around here are charging 100 and a quarter.
No shit.
100, 100 and a quarter, 150.
I don't got that kind of money, man. I don't got that welder's money like you.
No, me neither.
All right, man. Well, I got a couple of people that want to jump back on here as guests here. Hopefully we can get something worked out.
Oh yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we always have, man. I mean, that was the biker's lifestyle. I mean, I know we got into a groove there. We were putting shit out, on a repetitive basis, but it's the biker's lifestyle, for fuck's sake. What do you want?
It ain't easy, and it's been a rough couple of years.
It has.
It's what it is. I mean, it's
yeah.
Life gets in the way of shit. I mean, it's
Sure
like
does.
we've said it so many times. This isn't how we make a living. This isn't all that's going on in life. It's just some side project, and it's something we do to goof around and I meet some cool people, shit like that. It's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing formal. We're not even monetized. Don't even give a shit. And I'm not here to talk about one particular topic. I'm not here to talk about one particular aspect, what either it's club life or, history. I mean, there's channels that do that and they're awesome at it, and I could care less about biker news. I'm not going to sit here and start talking shit about some club that got in trouble because quite frankly, there's enough people that do that. And
bunch. Yep.
Now, what hot take am I going to give you? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, we said it from the very beginning. What are we? A couple of greasy bikers from Janesville, Wisconsin, just giving you shit from our point of view.
Yeah. And I don't care about what other podcast or whatever channels are doing. I really don't care. I mean, it's, good for them. I no, nothing against them. It's just good for them. It's not what we're trying to do.
Sometimes we don't even know what we're trying to do.
No, this chili idea recipe that we were talking about, I was literally 5 minutes before we fired the fucking cameras up. It was like, yeah, let's talk about that. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Works for me, man. Well, get that video link and I'll put that we'll put that into the video itself.
Yeah.
For your chili, I'll throw my recipe back out there again, try it, don't try it. We really don't care.
If you don't try it, you're missing out.
Yes.
You really are fucking
Oh,
up. If you like chili, just try it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm so mad I made this because it's garbage.
No, I know it's good chili.
Worst case scenario, you'd be like, it's okay. It's okay. Worst case scenario.
And it's not going to blow your face out either.
No, you're not going to die.
Yeah.
We're not sticking fucking a whole vial of ghost pepper extract and shit.
Cholo.
Yeah.
Trying
to kill us gringos.
Use 5 drops. He used 8 ounces.
big drops.
Big drops. Yeah.
One big drop.
All right, man. You want to finish this up?
Yeah, might as well. I'm thirsty.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Well, we'll do this again real soon. This is what, 119. We're going to be 120 here coming up. 119, I think it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, everybody. Well, you're up in Wisconsin where the season's ended. I'm down here in Florida where it never stops. And just keep in mind, the most dangerous part of your motorcycle is the nut that connects the seat to the handlebars piece.
Yep.